I'm Prof. St. Leon, and you are welcome to the story. So today we'll be interviewing Mr. Itoro. Mr. Itoro is once served as a community nurse in Nigeria, also served as a nurse also in Nigerian military, and then today very serving as a mental health nurse in the UK. So Mr. Itoro will be sharing experience with us throughout his time in Nigeria Armed Force as well, and also in the UK. So Mr. Itoro, you are welcome to the story.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Thank you so much. There are a whole lot of myths. We are calling myths or misunderstandings surrounding, let me say, Nigeria Air Force, or that. Though, before we get there, let's ask you what prompted you, or what was your drive behind choosing that career, as in becoming a nurse? Why do you have to become a nurse? Why nursing? I know that nursing is a very good course, but everybody have reason why they have to do what they do. So why do you have to become a nurse?
Well, actually, like a kind of a normal norm in Nigeria, growing up as a young uh, boy, actually, we aim of having that, how would I call it, aiming high. The initial plan was to read medicine and surgery. So after secondary school, there was a kind of frustration writing jam to get the cutoff mark. And it happened that the second trial, I actually have the cutoff point. But Nigeria was already that time that there was a kind of who knows who. You have to know one person before you actually have what you want. And I actually was looking for to read medicine and surgery in University of Calabar. It did not work out. I was frustrated. I went to the school actually when I was hoping the list of names would be published, and I was so frustrated. After I gone through the list, my name was not there. This is after I've made the requirement, no doubt. It was on that heat of frustration that somebody looked at my countenance, then called me aside and said, "What's the problem?" I told the person, I think it was a lady, maybe a lecturer, I don't actually know. So he actually told me, "Why can't you start with nursing? That maybe the following year you can try jam again, then come back to read medicine and surgery." That was where she directed me to School of Nursing. I went there, pick up a form. I didn't know much about nursing, to be sincere. So that was at least the turning point. After picking the form, go through the process, I got admission. Then starting nursing, I kind of come to be aware what nursing is all about. And the interest of going back to medicine and surgery was no longer there. And that's it.
That's fantastic. That's really nice. Now, at what point now did you have to choose move to Nigeria Air Force?
Yeah. Okay. So I graduated from School of Nursing. I went ahead, during School of Nursing, you'll be exposed to different fields in nursing, different specialty in nursing. So it was actually during school that I picked up interest to study psychiatric nursing, also known as mental health nursing. So immediately after my School of Nursing, that's general nursing, I did not waste time. I further ahead to do my psychiatric nursing. And immediately I finished my psychiatric nursing. That was 2009. So the form was out for me to join military. And it happened that one of my friends bought Navy, both Air Force, and both Army. It happened that both form came out during that time at the same time. So he bought during that time. He used to be in form of scratch card. So he bought three. He came, he visited me, and just handed me over the Air Force One. He said, "Take this one." That him is interested in Navy and Army. I said, "Okay." I did not even know much about Air Force to begin with. It's just like that. I just filled, and as God had it, I followed through the process of screening, and my name came out at the final to go for training. And that was it. And I must tell you, I wasn't even know anything about military as well. All that was in mind, reading from the advertisement, that they just put on Nigerian Air Force are recruiting
Recruiting.
nurses. So all my hope is that, okay, when I go there, they will just say, okay, come and enter our hospital and work as a nurse. I did not even have any idea that what I'm doing, it will end me up going for military training, that actually I must become a soldier before working with them. But anyway, as a young boy, by that time, we did not scare anything. Any opportunity that comes your way, that's it, and everything just work out like that. That's how I happened to join the military as a nurse. Yeah,
That's really interesting. Now look at it. Like my father was initially in the military. Then after the Civil War, his mom was like, "No, please, you will not continue the military anymore." So you see that, okay, I think he was a soldier then. I don't even know how they classify this thing though, but he was a soldier. After the
yeah.
war, his mother, my grandmother was like, "No, you are not going to continue with this part anymore," because everybody was tensed because my father returned back from the war very late. Then
Oh,
I said, if you have to continue, you may just go to the force, like police force. So my father have to switch from military to police force, which he retired as a police officer. That's what my
oh,
dad. Now, my question now is that how did your parents feel when they heard that, see, you've joined the military? How did they feel? What was their reaction like?
honestly, I grew up from a family background that I had a dad that actually encouraged us to do what we want to do. Eh, in fact, to shock you, they did not know anything me joining military. I was already 3 months in training before I have opportunity to send message through my friend to inform them that the reason they did not hear from me or see me coming to the village was that I had opportunity to go for military training. That the next 3 months ahead, I will pass out. That they should not worry, I'm fine. You know, uh, just have I said before, I did not know much about military, and everything just happened like a kind of
Very
it was
fast.
like a dream. I to me I was like, oh, let me try this thing and see how it's going to be, and it keep on uh, opening till even the very week I left for military training in Kaduna. It was on that Saturday, just as you mentioned police. During that time, when both the military and paramilitary are recruiting, it happened to be at the same time. So I forgot to tell you, before this time, I've already going for screening in the police. I was actually at police headquarters in Abuja when a colleague now called me that I should check Air Force list, that my name is out, that my name is in the list. So I had to hurry back that same Saturday. I picked night bus. I went back to Calabar. After I graduated from school in Calabar, I was still basing in Calabar.
Yeah.
So I was in Calabar doing all these things. So I had to quickly travel back to Calabar in order to gather my team because the training in Air Force was to resume on Monday. And they have put there that if you don't show up on Monday, you will miss your slot. Because if you look at military screening, they've already, if maybe they screen like 20 from each state, they always have 5 as reserve.
Yeah.
That 5 they put as reserve is that anybody in the main list that did not turn up the time and the day they say you should turn up, you have missed that slot. They will quickly call somebody that is in the reserve list to take up that slot. So I quickly joined a night bus, get to Calabar on Sunday. Then that same Sunday in the Sunday afternoon, I was already in Calabar. So I had that only that Sunday left to gather everything I needed to do. I followed another night bus that same Sunday night back to the north, to Kaduna, in order to resume training on Monday. To be sincere with you, there was nowhere like mobile set. I know a lot of people have mobile phone by that time, but my parent didn't have mobile phone for me to say, okay, I call anybody. I say, I beg, quickly. Then my parent know that this is what happened. All the plan was that, okay, by the time I get to Kaduna on Monday, I will now look for time and look for a way to see how to communicate. But it happened that immediately I reached Kate, that's the Air Force Base Kaduna Kate. Immediately I show up, as they call it, a recruit. They bundle me at that gate, my back and everything. They will collect your phone, collect your credential. In fact, at that point, training start at the gate, to be sincere. It took me almost 1 week to a kind of settle down to really know that, okay, this is what it is. Anyway, so by this time, I did not have phone again. Nothing with me to be able to communicate with my parent. So it was after I've already into the training for 3 months. So during one fateful day, one of my colleagues was able to sneak in phone. So in the middle of the night, we just dashed to somewhere where the only number I can recall, I had it off head, was a colleague of mine. I was able to call her. I said, please, ask this person, they will give you a number that you'll be able to communicate with my parent. And that was it. So in fact, they were happy. They were very happy. They wasn't scared of anything. They were happy.
Really? Now, during the training, how was the training like? Did you have any surprise? Hey, these people will now kill me today. Or like, you wake up the next day with fear, with the drills and all that. Was there surprise? Like, will I survive? Because I heard about people who collapsed during the training, who faint. Some have to go back, say, I cannot continue anymore. In fact, I was at UPTH one day to see a friend. That's a University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital. Trying to see a friend was admitted there.
Yeah.
Beside that, my friend was one young boy who was admitted. They were doing this shift every 6 hours or 8 hours. They will be all every day. Yeah, they were doing it. One army guy will come there to stay with the guy. You
Yeah.
understand? Then I have to ask them, the guy commit crime. They say no, that the guy collapsed during the training. So they brought him to the hospital. So were there such incidents during your training? People collapsing, fainting, like were you tense, scared at certain points?
Well, I will tell you that, in fact, I think I was lucky not to know anything about training while I went for training. Because to be sincere with you, if I there are some part of the training that I will not tell you, because a lot of people are going to listen to this. So I don't want to discourage anybody, to be sincere. Now, then there are some people that, despite anything they have heard about the training, at least they still have that courage. They still have that mind. Let me go in for training. To be sincere, it was good for me that I did not know anything about training when I actually went for military training. What I can tell you for training is that military training is hard. But one good thing is that they cannot expose you to tough thing immediately. No, it's always a process. There's a process about it. But to sum up everything, military training is military training, because
Mm.
the aim of the training is you come out. A soldier is not a mind something. It's for you to come out strong, to come out, what word should I use? To come out not being timid, not being a fearful type. All right. In fact, the word I can know that I get overall to use and describe is for you to come out strong. So for them to meet the aim of this training, for you to come out strong, definitely the training shouldn't be a milk affair. No,
Yeah,
you understand.
very
So
well.
in my own case, I did not know anything about training, as I said. So the first, just as I said, everything was it was very traumatic. That element of shock has to be there. And have you seen yourself, maybe if you have experience, maybe if you have involved in an accident before, you know that when it happened, everything is just like a dream. Sometimes you don't even know how it happened. Maybe you see a car turning, backing where you were coming from. You
Yeah,
cannot even explain. So I can liken it to that. But as every day keep on rolling, you now get to be aware, of what is happening. Then I said, yeah, you can see that maybe I remember very well that even the very first week they did not ask us to run. We only trick. They will just trick, maybe small time they will say double up, something like that. But gradually now they now introduce jogging. All right. Immediately they introduce, I think the second week, if we jog on Monday, then on Tuesday, maybe we walk. Maybe around that time, they will say double up, you understand. But after the first 2 weeks, they just feel that, okay, by now, maybe your muscle should, becomes to adapt. There are certain things about your body that should start adapting. All right. Then you now see yourself from what point A to B, you are jogging. They don't, in fact, nobody want to see you walking again. You understand? But it was a process. You cannot
yeah,
just enter the say, wham, come and do this. No. You understand? So you see this body, by the time you subject your body to certain things, it's just a matter of time. It would
yeah.
adapt and you get used to it. Yeah, you may mention, yes, some people get a lot of it. There's a lot of injury, though I must say this, even to sometimes they say casualty is allowed. All right. That is why that you see now that they took their time to do what they call a medical screening. During the recruitment process, they will screen you medically. And this is the most important aspect of the recruitment, because they want to make sure that you are medically fit before you go in for training. A lot of people they disqualify is always based on medical fitness. So to some people, or what I would say, immediately that they can tell you that you are medically fit, the only thing left now is your mind. If you have a strong mind, you can sail through military training with no issues.
Mm. Now, there's this myth, or I don't know if it's a myth until you clarify it, that during the training, they inject drugs to get you strong and very active. They put drugs in your food. They inject drugs in your system, hard drugs. Not paracetamol, not Panadol, like hard drugs. So you can become very strong and become the kind of,
Yeah.
is that true?
I would say that's just a misconception.
Really?
Uh, to be sincere, there's just nothing like that. There's just nothing like that. I can liken it to maybe somebody that is going to the gym. All right. Aside people that are using drugs, all right, to build
Yeah,
their muscle. You know that there are some people that go to the gym and they without drugs, they just lift weight before you know it. They are building muscles and things like that. I would
that's
just
true.
liken military training just like that, in the sense that, just as I said before, it's a process. Gradually, they put you through some physical activities. They put you through a lot of things that you come out from training and be strong and be a soldier and do what a soldier is supposed to do. So, in fact, you make me remember, I remember very well during the training, there was a guy that tied some rubbish around his waist, you know, though I must say that type of training, I think, is not likely happening now. There are certain things in training that they have reviewed, and they now find out is a kind of inhuman. And I think efforts that I know, they try as much as possible to put a stop to it. They don't allow the instructors to continue that way. But as at 2009, I was trained. I can tell you that sometimes you will see instructors coming with cane. Some will send a message, I beg, plug me some cane. They will frock you. I'm not lying. If you, because something I did not say, one of the aim of that training is to make you disciplined. All
Yeah,
right. To instill that discipline in you. You will see that when it comes to a soldier, soldiers are disciplined.
yeah, they
So
are. That's true.
it's training. All right. So you now say that as human beings are, especially in a group, imagine you having up to 500 trainees. There's no way you will tell everybody, don't do this, and you think that 500 will listen immediately. No. So by the time they will say, oh, 9 o'clock, all of you assemble here. That 9 o'clock is not everybody. Some people will think it's a joke. Okay. So these are the things that maybe that will make the instructor say, hey, I give you people order. I give you people instruction. You do everybody on your head or something like that. So these guys, on occasion like that, they were flocking. When I mean flocking, so as they just wipe this cow in on his back, in the pain, the thing enter now. So on the process of him rubbing, he now him pull off his shirt, and that thing he was styling now. And people now see, he say, what is this? You understand? So they pull him out, they cut it. In fact, he collect more punishment. Why am I saying this? Is that if something like that, if a common cane, they can flog you and the pain enter. How much more? See, one thing about soldier is training. Is training.
Yeah,
So there's nothing like cooking or whatsoever. No. For example, along the line during training, you the food you used to, the nature of meal you used to, definitely is going to be reduced. While you are now doing more physical activity. At the end, what that training helps you to achieve is endurance. That's why you now see that
mm,
as a soldier, he can get up in the morning without food and do what somebody that have eaten and satisfied cannot do. You understand? So it's all about training. There's nothing like the cook or what. All those things, it doesn't work. It's a very big misconception. It's a very big misconception. Just we
so
talk of that gym. You see
yeah,
somebody that have been going to gym for like 2-3 years. You that want to start today, you see the kind of weight the person will carry or the kind of thing that person will do. You'll not be able to do it immediately. So it will take you some time, gradually, before you get used to all those things. So that's it.
so you mean those army that go to war and all that, they don't do drugs and body cooking? Do they face those war battle with open eye?
Well, I see. I will tell you that I, for you as a soldier, is training you will go through that they will not you come out, you pass out and be a soldier. And that is what I will guarantee you, maybe you for you to go to war. And going to war is what you apply, is what you were trained. You understand? So as per maybe somebody is doing one thing diabolic or what or the other, is not part of it. So if you see maybe if it even happen, some people do that. That one is just based on that person's belief, or let me just put it that way. It's just like maybe any normal life, you see, maybe some people, you will hear of that same misconception. Maybe when it comes to business, there are some people that genuinely study the right way to do to do business and apply it, and it work out for them. Then there are some people that assume that, oh, for you to succeed in this business, you must go and do one guru thing or the other. That's, for that person. But at least for a kind of the understanding between me and you and what can genuinely work as far as life is concerned, you should know that for you to achieve in one or two things, you must follow the principle. Maybe in business, there's a principle for it. Maybe if you are going to school as a student, if you want to come out with a first class or what, there's also a principle that you must follow in order for you to achieve that. So, in regards to this, as a soldier, and you are being trained to go to war, for you to go and come back successfully, you must follow military principle and apply that. That's it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. I understand. I agree with you now because sometimes I used to hear it. You need to do a lot of body cooking, take some drugs, be very hard so you can face it out there. And
all,
that's
th- all those all those things doesn't work.
what,
All those things
what,
doesn't work. Even if it happen, of course, I think I've witnessed once in one of these police command in Ike. Even I've even seen it on newspaper. You see some of this armed robbery. You see them tying one nonsense or the other. When they did it comes, when they are on me, even with all those things, one bullet is enough to finish them. All right. That means that wasn't the principle. Or
yeah,
that principle cannot work. So it's the same thing. In fact, this one I'm telling you in this police command, the police killed them, dragged them in front of their command in the morning. People went and go and view. And I follow and look at it. You can't imagine the bottle he was tying around his waist, how they happened to put that cross inside the bottle. You understand? That was his belief and all of it. When that day comes, that was his hand. So it's the same thing. What you are just saying, when it comes to the military, I will tell you there's nothing like that. So if you see one or two people applying that, they are just on their own. It's not part and can never be part of military principle or military training. That's it.
Okay, now let's look at it. You did the nursing, like you were trained as a military, but
Yeah.
your major role in the military is nursing. Now, at the end of the training, were you sent to the hospital or you were sent as part of the rescue team in the war front?
Oh, okay. Let me correct that. In when they are recruiting, like me, I've been to military training twice. I started as a recruit, then later I reapply and get commissioning and become an
Mm,
officer. Okay. Uh, be either as a recruit or an officer. When they recruit you as a professional and you join the military, your primary responsibility still is a soldier or is military. So your profession now is a secondary responsibility. To throw more light to that, the reason they train you to become a soldier is mainly you can go for war, despite whether you are a doctor, you are a lawyer, you are an engineer, whatsoever you are, your primary responsibility is military. So if war happen now and they deem it fit for you to join, go and fight, you will join, go and fight, because that's one of the reasons they train you initially. But
Mm.
in a normal time where there is no war, you now say that the military now, like Air Force, Army, or Navy, they have their own hospital. So me, like a nurse, I can be in the hospital working, or somebody like a doctor, the same thing. Maybe you see a lawyer or a barrister that joined the military. There are some services that will require their services as a lawyer, and that's the reason. Maybe you have an engineer. Of course, in the military, there are a lot of things that require engineering. That's why you have them here. But the bottom line that everybody first primary responsibility is military.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's look at it this way. That means you go to war, but if there's no war, you return back to the office. But if there's trouble, whether you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you are whatsoever, you must always still go to war if the need arise, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But if you go to war as a nurse, as a doctor, do you go to war like as every other person go to war, or you are there in the war front as a rescue team in case of injury, you attend to those ones who are injured?
Okay. It depends. Why I say it depends. Let's say, for example, uh, the issue of how would I put it, terrorism in the north or whatsoever. Now, if I'm part of the team, they can attach me as a medical personnel. Maybe I can be attached maybe to the ambulance. All right. We are providing medical services to our personnel, you understand. But imagine you moving in the same convoy. Maybe the enemy happen to attack. The first thing that will come, you have to defend yourself. So I will not use needle or carry my two hand up. I say I'm not part of them, I'm a nurse. No. That's why they trained me first to be a soldier. So, and being part of that team, I'm already with my own gun. I would have signed rifle like other people have signed. So I have to first follow them and defend our troop, defend our territory. Then if along the line there's somebody that is being injured, is now my secondary responsibility now come into play. I have to render medical services as well. You understand? So this
Yes.
is how important it is. This is how important, and this is how it works. It's just the same thing. Maybe you have a driver that is being trained as a soldier, as he's driving the truck, as he's driving. When there is attack, he will not continue to drive. They will kill him now. He will look for a way, maybe clear the vehicle, defend first. Defend first. When everything is clear, he continue. So that's how
Hmm.
it is.
I actually thought maybe as a nurse, your aim of joining the war is you just be there observing them. If there's injury, they bring it to you. You apply your first aid and know who trying to take to the hospital and all that. But you not really be at the war front, but you be at the back end of the war. That's
Well,
really
it actually been a long time. That can maybe, in one sense, can be applicable in a conventional war. What I mean by that is that, okay, maybe like Nigeria happened to fight with another country. Yeah, you will have some people in the medical center that if a soldier is being wounded in the war front, they can bring the people. Somebody in the hospital at the medical center will attend to the soldier. That is still applicable. But in the other sense, the person that is a soldier in the military, in the hospital, be a doctor or a nurse, can also be mobilized and sent to the war front to go and fight if there's no people there. So that's how it works.
Mm. Now let's have you during the how is it like actually this fighting take over? Because my father used to relate to us then experiences during the civil war. He used to tell us the story and it used to sweet me. I love to be part of it, but I enjoy the story. Take over, take over. Now, how is it really like? Have you been there and at the end you lost two, three persons and or if people go in 10, people return back in 10, maybe very close friend, you
Uh,
just lost the person.
oh, well, I think that just as I said, there are some things I will not say here. All right.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a security matters, you know. To partially answer the question, yes, I've been there, but as per going into details, how it
yeah.
is and that, no, I don't is not appropriate that I narrated all those
The
things here
stories.
online. Yeah, to be sincere.
It used to be very unimaginable because
Yeah.
person like me, I'm pretty scared of. It's okay now. Let's have a little debate. You this psychiatric nurse. At what point do you have to say, okay, I think I have to leave the military and perhaps move down to the UK? What prompted the decision and all that?
Okay, as per, just like normal thing in life, everybody has plans. Uh, as you are as you are growing up, as you are getting more exposed, as you are gaining a lot of understanding about life, this determines the kind of plan, the kind of decision you make for yourself. All right. I right from let me say already in the military, like 2 or 3 years in the military, I've already gained a lot of understanding what the military is all about, how it's going to be, and also compared to what I want for myself. All right. So this were the thing that determined my plan. I've already had a plan that I'm not going to end my career in the
In the
military.
military.
Yes, I've
Yeah.
already had such plan from my second, third year in the military. So by the time I've served in the Nigerian Air Force for 15 years, I was already maybe by 5 years in the Nigerian Air Force, I've already made a plan. I know that in the middle way, I'm going to exit. You understand? Because there are a lot of factors that come into play for me to make such decision, depending on what is value to you in
Yes.
life. You ask yourself everybody have things that are most important at one point or the other. So it depends. There are some people, yes, depending on what they value, that will tell you no matter what happened, I'm already in the military and I'm for officer, I don't want to leave. That is that person's choice, depending
Yeah.
on what he wants for him or herself. But to me, there are things that was value to me, and by the time I put everything on the table, and then come up with the decision and say, well, if of course it has to be in line with the military constitution,
Yeah.
because you cannot just enter the military and live like that. That's another thing you should know. So uh, there are point maybe 10 years you can allow to resign, 15 years you can allow to resign. So when maybe that 15 years come for me and I see that is good, that was it. I have to resign.
Mm. That's the now. There are areas in nursing like the midwifery, the normal general nurse, and all that. Why do you have to? Why do you feel the need to specialize in psychiatric nurse as it is referred to in Nigeria, but in UK it's referred to as a mental health nurse. Why do you choose that
Uh,
specialty?
that actually was even way back in Nigeria. The decision to go into mental health nursing. During my general nursing, I've had experience in accident and emergency. I have experience in ENT, that is eye, ear, and nose. Even I have experience in midwifery, though back home in Nigeria, they don't just like the male going into midwifery or so. But now it's gradually people are male as going into it. All right. Okay, I have experience in pediatric. Pediatric are those one taking care of children
Yeah.
and other field of nursing. But it was a more interesting when I have my psychiatric experience to to see people that are having mental health issue, suffering from mental health condition, how the care, how the management and everything concerning them was. I was so motivated and I decided that, oh, I want to go into mental health line. You know, coming out, it has been very interesting, not just coming to the UK alone. No, Eh, back home, I've already have that interest that even mainly I don't have opportunity to come to the UK even in Nigeria, my interest has been in
Mental
mental
health.
health. Yeah.
That's a lot of people always ask questions around this mental health, depression, anxiety, plenty of all these things. What's really the fundamental cause of a mental health issue?
Wow. It's a multi-factor. We have like not simply put predisposing. We have a lot of factors that contribute to somebody having mental health condition. I will mention few of the factors. Some of the factors people born with.
Mm.
It can be hereditary, it follow genetic. Then you talk of personality. Of course, this is part of what the person is built up with, he born with it. He followed a personality. Then environment also have a contributory factor. The type of environment you grow from, the type of environment you see yourself. There are a lot of things that if you are not careful can predispose, make somebody do one or two things that can result into mental health issue. Then apart from that, now we talk of lifestyles. There are a lot of things people venture into they don't know, and it brings them down to having mental health problem. Another factor we think of can also be a disease condition. Then we now look at the emotional factor, something that is beyond you cannot control. It happens just like that. Then depending on that person build up, as I said, personality. There are some people that can withstand stress. A lot of things have happened. You see that person still struggling, is still surviving. But there are some people that can hit with one mishap. The next thing the person is down, is depressed. So it's a multi-factor.
So on a simplest term now, how can this be managed? Like how can I say, okay, I want to stay away from mental health condition. How can I be able to keep my sanity?
Simply
Mm.
put,
Yeah.
one thing is you kind of look into yourself and examine what I should simply put your limit. What is your capacity? Then
Mm.
by the time something happened to you, you quickly seek help. Is it in form of emotion? Instead of you to sit down and build it within yourself, you have to share it. You have to let people know you seek for help. All right? Then the other way around, just as I said, when it comes to anything that has to do with hereditary, has to do with personality, That one you don't have any control over it. But by the time you realize yourself, this is my weakness. Maybe any little thing provoke me, or if anything happen to me, it depresses me, it weighs me down. That means, okay, you know yourself. So the next thing now is for you to look for what can help you. In case this thing happened to me, what can I use in order for me to stay strong? You understand? Okay, we also talk of like a lot. I talk of lifestyle. You see some people into a lot of things they are taking, smoking, drinking, and all those things. These are contributory factor. Then if you know that it's not good for you, the simply put is either to look for a way and do it and put a stop. All right? Then we now talk of the environment. If that environment is not good for your mental health, stressful environment, and you cannot cope, another thing is for you to look for a way and know what? Change environment. Like when I talk of environment, it's not just where you are living. Environment can be even be where you are working. You are being you are not where you are working, you are not happy with the work. The work is coming with a lot of stress. It's like everybody is against you. And this thing is building a lot of emotion, a lot of stress on your mental health. And you are still remaining there, no solution, no way out. You cannot continue staying there until you break down. No. You have to look for a way. Oh, it's not helping my mental health. Environment can even be a relationship. What type of relationship are you? Is it a relationship that is making you feel happy? Or is it a relationship that is putting mental stress and world strain on your head? And you continue seeing yourself, So there are a whole lot of things. So simply put is everybody knows, you know what works for you. You know what makes you happy. You know what your body needs. And by the time you now see that, this thing that is surrounding me is not helping me, you need to get up and seek for solution. You need to get up and seek for solution. That's it.
This really, I think, is me, even me myself. I've actually learned, see a whole lot of points that also even serve for me now as a very big lesson.
Yeah.
Man, it's been a fantastic time with you. I'm very happy that you could make out time to be here with us. But I'll let you go until you're able to give us some advice. Now, for younger ones who perhaps want, we'll break it into two, want to go into the military, what is your advice for them? And also on the other arm, younger ones also want to go into nursing. So what is also your advice for them? Now let's take the military first. As a young guy, I fancy the military. I want to go into the military. What is your advice for me?
Yeah. First thing first is what's your aim of going into the military? What do you want? Uh, that's the question I would have asked myself first. Is it all about the uniform? Is it all about like people say, if you're a military man, you can do and undo? You understand?
Yeah.
You must have a purpose of, okay, this is why I want to go into the military. And when you now realize that is in line with what you want, then you can go in for it. What I will say, another thing I will say is that, just as I said before, they will screen you within yourself. You have to be sure, know that you are physically fit. And I will say, if you know you are not physically fit, there's don't even dream of going to the military, because you will not be able to survive in the military if you are not physically fit. If you have any health challenges or what, you need to ask a lot of questions, and if that can help you in the military. Then another thing I will say is that the military is a highly disciplined institution. Let's leave what is happening in the social media, what is happening in this thing. If you are not a disciplined person, I can't guarantee you surviving in the military. You will be having a lot of issues. You will not enjoy being in the military if you are not disciplined. That's another thing. Now, if maybe your aim of going to the military is to go and make money, I'll tell you that I can doubt it that you have a wrong motive there. Anyway, maybe call help that person if you want to go and make money. I don't know. But at least you should have a clear decision and okay, this is my aim of objective going to the military. Overall, I'll tell you that yes, military is a nice profession. In fact, military really shaped my life, and I'll ever remain grateful that I've been in the military. Yeah. Then
That's
as
fantastic. Sorry,
penance.
let me ask this one first. You
Okay.
just said something now. What aspect of the military discipline, or the aspect of the military discipline or the training, do you benefit so much from that even to date it still affect your life positively?
I would not say an aspect. It will instill a lot of things in you. For example, when I talk of discipline, it covers a whole lot of things that has to do with your entire life. Is it your family life? Is it how you behave outside? How you behave with people? You understand? This is what I mean by discipline. Now, another thing about the military is what we talk of integrity. Integrity that even if you make mistake, you can own up to it. You understand?
Yeah.
These are the things I achieved a lot, in the military. Now, punctuality, then aside that, we now talk of the physical fitness.
Mm.
Yeah, in fact, there's something we left out here. Military make you to be who you are. You can enter a place where other people are afraid to enter. Irrespective, you can approach somebody with courage. You understand? These are the things all about military. Let's leave this other aspect where people are abused. Somebody like me, I'm not part of that. Of course, you know that we've been, that if I don't tell you I was in the military, you will not know. Even back home, I hardly go to a place and show up that I'm a military man. No, it's not part of it. Military teach us how to respect. That's something I kind of learn in the military. I'm even ready to bring myself down to be mumu first and look at how you want to treat me. You understand? When you see all those show up, all those things, is not part of it. That person have not, if you see a soldier doing that, it is not there. But as per the true quality of a soldier, we have a code of ethics. It tells you about how integrity. It tells you about courage. It tells you about a whole lot of things that
Mm.
are very, very important when it comes to life. So these are the things I greatly learn, and I know that it's formed part of my destiny in military. And it helps me a lot. It helps me a lot in so many places. I will enter a place, I keep quiet and stand there as if I don't know anything. And then at the end of the day, when people now realize, in fact, you can see the favor it will bring to you. You understand?
Yeah.
You understand? So there are so many. I've been to a public vehicle where people talk left, right, and center, a whole lot of things. I just keep quiet. We travel all the way. We were leaving Lagos to Edo State. Then somewhere at Ore, the police stopped the vehicle. Everybody has to come down. They wanted to start searching. They wanted to do a whole lot of things. It just take me simple to walk a step. Meet. I don't need them to show me who is the most senior here. By their uniform, I can know who is the most senior. Approach that person, introduce myself. The next thing is that stop what you are doing. Everybody enter that. We just enter. Everybody, the vehicle move. That's when they now was like started looking. They were just, wondering. So this is just, some example of what I'm telling you. So that's it.
But though I love. Maybe my intention, if I've joined the military, was wrong. But I love such power. I love such courage. I love that. I would have joined for when I left university for looking for a job, and then some of my uncles that my father had to join the police said to me, "Hey, come join the police. You have a certificate, you have a degree. You will not do this. You will not do the road work. You will not do the checkpoint thing." I said, yes, yes, it's something I would have fancy, but if only there's a non-combat rule. I checked the military, I checked the army, I checked the air force, I checked the naval, I checked everywhere. All there is no non-combat rule. I must carry gun. I do not want to carry gun. I don't want to shoot anybody. I don't want to kill anybody. But they said I must carry a gun. I said, no, I cannot. So that was the reason. If not, when I see, I have one friend who was NAV, Nigerian Air Force. Oh, he's a
Yeah.
lawyer there. If you see him, very neat, well dressed, smart. I love it. I won't lie, if I see the UK police, oh man, I love it because they're always looking very, very, very smart, very neat,
Yeah.
well dressed, I love it. I won't lie, I love, but the idea that I must carry gun, I don't want to carry gun. Don't shoot anybody. So for that reason, I have to let go of that dream. I love it. Just hey, see, hey, can you calm down? Here's my ID card. Hey, sure, sir. Now let's now go back to what's your advice now for aspiring nurse? People want to practice nursing, they have the ambition to practice nurse. What's your advice for them?
Yeah, as per somebody that want to go into nursing, in fact, number one thing is you must ready to read and to study your book. That's number one thing. Because if you want to be successful in nursing, you need to study and pass your exam on your own. There is no double crossing here, as far as I know. As far as the nursing is concerned, that's number one thing. Then, apart from that, you must have the mind to save. What I mean, the mind to serve is there are a lot of things you will do in nursing that you know that no matter how much they pay you, is not up to. You shouldn't do. In fact, I can simply put here. Are you ready to look at the sick person lying down there? Maybe the person shit on the bed, soil him or herself. Are you ready to come down and know that you are there to provide service? I don't think they can hold you on the street and say, hey, come here, I want to pay you, come and pack this shit. I'm going to. You will not do it. But in nursing, for the sick, you have to do it. Irrespective of any area of nursing you will go, you will see something along the line that you need to render the service, whether you are being paid or not. So these are in while I remember those days when I was in school of nursing, they used to say that nursing is a call in the sense that in fact you have to have what it takes before you come into it. It's not all about the money alone. No, there are a lot of
Yeah.
things that involve into it. So that is, in fact, either way, it has been. How would I put it? I've never regret being a nurse. To be
Wow.
sincere, I've never regretted being a nurse. To some extent, even when I've told you that, oh, the person that's encouraged me to pick the form say, the following year you can write JAM and then come and read medicine. But from year one in School of Nursing, by the time I was exposed to what nursing is all about, that was where my interest lies, and
Yeah.
no regret about it, to be sincere.
That's really fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. But I think one of the reasons I didn't really do anything related to medical, growing up, you see that I do engineering or nursing, but at the point I have to move to engineering, not medicine, because I feel, man, I have this high phobia for blood. I can't stand those blood. Or somebody have an injury that is so deep, so this, tear skin. I don't really like blood. But are there persons you don't like blood, but as you start practicing medicine or nursing, you now start developing that strong mind towards blood? Is that possible?
Yeah, all those things that you said, of course, we call it phobia.
Yes.
And there are several ways that you overcome your phobia. Just like me, I don't like water. So I believe if maybe something warrants that it happen, maybe tomorrow I see myself inside water next tomorrow, it's just going to be a matter of time. The fear will be gone, and the whole thing was just change like that. Initially, there are people that come into nursing, they don't want to see blood. I remember one of those things they do to us. They call it desensitization. They took us through the mortuary. Yeah, during our orientation in nursing,
Hmm.
they intentionally carry all the students. We passed through the mortuary. And let me show you what's funny. My my first day clinical posting in University of Calabar Teaching Hospital, Moore Road. I still remember that ward one. It was a medical ward. It's funny. I uh yeah, medical ward, that ward was a very big ward. They have close to 20 something patients in that ward. In fact, that very day, come, we lost like three patients. Three patients died during our shift. Do you know one of those persons that died? I was still there wrapping this thing, wrapping this figmo manometer, this thing, off to
Yeah.
check his blood pressure. I don't know, that person has already packed. It was a more senior nurse that now came. They've already know that the person is not going to make it. But as per
Yeah.
nursing is concerned, of course, is there a part of nursing persuasion? We nurse some people to recover, then we nurse some people to a peaceful death. So instead
Yeah.
of somebody to die struggling, when you are in the hospital, the duty of the nurse, they know that, okay, this is an end state. There's nothing we can do. But there's still nursing responsibility there to make the thing easy for the person, that even if you want to die, he will not be struggling. So they were just there. The senior nurses know that this person is not going to make it. But the most funny part was being a student and in no fees. I don't even know anything. The person is dead and me, I'm still struggling. You know. So those are part of those things. Even in the night,
Yeah.
the patient can die in your ward, and you cannot easily get the porter to come and carry the corpse immediately. It has to be there until maybe more daybreak before they come and carry. It's only us who know that, okay, that patient is dead. Maybe the next patient that is lying close, it might not know that is dead
Yeah.
and things like that. Okay, so coming back to things that can make you feel like the blood. In fact, I can tell you, even my first posting to the theater, a lot of our students slump, because
Yeah.
that's the first time they see using surgical blade. Maybe if they say laparotomy, you will see the whole tummy can be opened from up till down. They can open like this. You see all the intestine and everything. A lot of people collapse. They will just drag them off the theater room. They will get up. And then the next time you don't expect them to collapse again because they have already seen it before. So it's like that. In fact, you can see like accident cases, somebody blood is oozing.
Yeah.
You see a lot of people running away. So it takes you that have already have what it takes, to go in. So those things about fear, some people came, they don't even have an idea, just as I told you. Along the line, they are being exposed, and at the same time, that fear is just leaving them gradually. And before you know it, they are there.
Yeah, man. This is very eye opening. We really appreciate you so much. We are so grateful that you make out your time and got our interview. We hope to see you again in the future.
Thank
Perhaps
you.
throw more light on all these things, man. Thank you
All
so
right.
much, Mr. Etoro. We so
Thank
much
you.
appreciate you. All right,
All
thank you.
right. All right.
All right. This part I will edit this part come out where they edit. So thank you so much. I beg you go wait. I will end the session